Hey everyone, welcome back to our goody two shoes let's play of Dark Souls. Last time we defeated the Black Dragon cow meat, and now we are back in our own time to continue our adventure. You may notice that I have less souls than last time. That's because I went up to the church, to Oswald, and absolved my sins. So now we are free to join new covenants. Here we are at Andre. We aren't gonna do anything here. We are going straight to the forest to have unfinished business there. So let's get going. We already defeated the Titanite demon here a long time ago. And this zone should be familiar to you. We were here for quite a while. We one-shot these enemies now. And there we are, Darkroot Garden. In the present day. We were here in the DLC. Now we are here in present day. And there's that tree. Remember, there is an ambush here in the right, over here, like this tree. Here it is. Okay. And this is our destination over here. We'll just rest at this bonfire. And we actually have the crest of Artorias over here. We bought it from Andre in a previous episode. And this crest actually opens this door. We couldn't open it before. But now we can. And we are on this side of the forest. Like just in front of us is Alvina's tower. Let's call it that way. But we aren't in the Forest Covenant, the Forest Hunter Covenant anymore, so these guys will be hostile to us, so we need to be careful. And there's a knight. This guy does not respawn. He is dangerous though, does a lot of damage. Come on, dude. Okay. We could try to parry him, by the way. Okay, we do have good range. And there's the backstab. 3000 souls, not shabby. This is a very good spot to a very good place to farm souls. Like I have explained the cheesy way of doing so. But yeah, you can totally just go around and kill those guys, no problem. Like make it not cheesy. And there's the thief. You can also just run into Alvina's tower and start talking to Alvina. And that will actually stop them from attacking you. Like if you don't want to fight them, that's a way. But we get a lot of souls for that, so... And there's the cleric. So after him, that will only leave the bandit, I think. So now the cleric will want to heal, but we won't let him. And there's the bandit. He is dangerous. He does a hell of a lot of damage. he may be able to one-shot us if he manages to hit us. Okay, nice. 1,000 souls, not too much, but whatever. And you can see Shiva and the quiet guy over here, the ninja, are gone. That's because we aren't in the Forest Hunter Covenant. And here is Alvina. We can join her covenant again because we are absolved of sin. But maybe later. First we'll try to go without joining the covenant. So we are heading to the back of the zone, to that white over there in the background. There are mushrooms here. Like, this is the place with the little lake that we got the enchanted ember, I think. And over here we can just fall down and go to this here door. So this again should be very familiar to you. Like in the DLC, we go out from the door and go to the Royal Woods from this side. So yeah, you can already guess this is a boss fight. And for this boss fight you actually have two cinematics, depending on what you did in the DLC. If you found Sif and freed him. And we actually found him and freed him, so we will get the second cinematic, the newest cinematic. You can see a familiar looking sword over here and a grave. So let's see what will happen. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the saddest, most emotional fight in the entire game. Like, this is Sif, the same Sif that we rescued in the past, but now he's all grown up. And the big grave over there is actually Artorias' grave. So Sif is just protecting, like, the honor of his partner. And we are trespassers. But in the cinematic, Sif did recognize us. And I guess he's just sad that he has to fight us, but he is honor bound to do so. Like, the music in this fight, the whole atmosphere of the fight is really great. Like, this is probably my favorite music from the entire game. But yeah, it's not a really difficult fight, but it's a really cool fight. Like the really cool Artorias sword that Sif has. By the way, if you look carefully, you will notice that Sif does very similar attacks to Artorias. Like, it's like he learned from Artorias and has a similar, like, sword style. Whoop. So let's actually start fighting him. Like you see, you can block most attacks, but I'll try to probably fight him. Oops. Probably fight him two-handed. Oh yeah, you have to dodge this, by the way. Okay. Will we have time to drink? Yeah. So yeah, Sif actually jumps around very much. And okay. Let's drink again. Damn, couldn't dodge that. Yeah, I just need to get in the groove and okay, we're dead. So next time. Okay guys, we are back. So the trick to this fight is actually standing below Sif. Whoop. Like if you stand below him, he actually can't do anything to you. And you can see he doesn't have very much life. So usually I tend to finish him off quickly, but I will demonstrate the end of the fight for you. Like if you leave him on low HP, you see he starts to limp. So it's really sad. Like the developers wanted for you to like get emotional and like get the feels. Like his attacks are really slow right now, so let's give him peace. Whoa, okay, managed to hit us, and there we go. We get the Soul of Sif and the Covenant of Artorias, Humanity and Homeward Bone, and rest in peace, noble Sif. By the way, Sif's name, like Sif, I think comes from like Norse mythology. Sif is a goddess in that mythology. So I don't know, Sif may be a female. I have no idea of his or her gender. But yeah, behind the the grave of Artorias, we do find another soul, and we find the Hornet Ring. That's the third ring of the Knights of Gwyn, and the Hornet Ring is actually Kirin's ring. You remember Kirin, that woman that built a little grave when we defeated Artorias? She gave us her weapons and we gave her Artorias' soul. So that probably is her grave, and like that probably is her corpse, not her grave. She stood over it, I guess, guarded it. So we can see that she also had feelings for Artorias, if the DLC was not enough for you. And the Hornet Ring is actually an interesting ring. It boosts your critical damage, like all parries, backstabs and whatnot will do more damage, and if you do them to humanoid enemies, they will have a different animation. I think it's the old animation from Demon Souls actually. So yeah. Okay, let's actually use a Homeward Bone here. There we go. Now we'll rest at our bonfire and we will warp to the chamber of the princess. Here we are in Anor Londo. So we are going to the giant blacksmith. Because now there is something that we need to do with him. well, I need to do with him. It's totally optional. Like in a previous episode, like very long ago, I told you that we will have a backup weapon. So now the time has come for us to get that backup weapon. We could have gotten it like way earlier, but yeah. I wanted Sif to be one of the last bosses that we have to fight. So yeah, you can't skip Sif's fight, by the way. It is totally necessary, like you need it to complete the game. But yeah, over here in the back, behind the like giant blacksmith, there is a chest. And inside we find the Hawk Ring. And you can already guess, the Hawk Ring is Hawkeye Ghoul's ring. So now we have all of the Knights' rings, all the 4 rings of the Knights of Gwyn. And I think the Hawk Ring actually allows you to shoot farther, like increases the range of your bows, crossbows and whatever. And by the way, speaking of rings, I think I forgot to mention what the Calamity Ring does when we got it from Cowmeat. It actually doubles any damage that you take in the game. So it actually makes the game harder for you. The developer just put it in there as an like additional method of difficulty. So it's not necessary. But yeah, if you find Dark Souls really easy, you can use that ring. So, let's talk to the blacksmith.
What's that? Shiny, shiny. Give me that. I make weapons shiny.
So he's talking about the crystal ember, of course. We'll give it to him.
Shiny, shiny. I make weapons shiny.
Okay, now he can make crystal weapons. But we actually want something else. We want boss weapons. You can see there's the crystal weapons, there's the whitening weapons, and this is what we want. Like, we want the Great Sword of Artorias. We need the Soul of Sif for that, and we need a straight sword hilt. Like, you can use the straight sword hilt that you started the game with, like that broken sword that you end up with in the first room of the game. You need to upgrade that to +10, and then you will be able to upgrade that to the Great Sword of Artorias here. So we'll do that. There we go. So we will reinforce it. There's the Great Sword of Artorias. We need Demon Titanite for the reinforcement and 5,000 souls for every reinforcement. So there's the +1, +2, 3, 4, and we need 4 Demon Titanite to upgrade it to maximum, which is +5. We need 2 more. I'll get them later. I'll probably trade something to Snuggly. Like, there is a Demon Titanite to get there, so yeah. So, let's show it off. This is the Great Sword of Artorias, ladies and gentlemen. It requires 24 strength, 18 dexterity, 20 intelligence and 20 fate. Like, it has a good scaling, like CC with strength and dex, BB with intelligence and fate. It's also considered a divine weapon. You can see the auxiliary effect there, like 140. So you can totally use this sword in the catacombs. Like, it will kill the skeletons permanently. And this is considered to be the true Great Sword of Artorias. Like, if you make it with a straight sword hilt, you end up with the true great sword of Artorias. You can get the cursed version of this sword if you upgrade like any straight sword in the game, like not a hilt, a regular straight sword. And you get a cursed version. And the cursed version is actually not considered divine, but the cursed quality actually can kill ghosts. So if you go to New on the Ruins with it, you won't have to use a transient curse. You will have like a sword which can kill ghosts. But yeah, so you can use the Soul of Sith to create the two versions of this sword, like the True Great Sword and the Cursed Great Sword. And you can use the Soul of Artorias to create the third version of the sword, which is the Abyss Sword. So let's actually show it off here. It looks really great. Like, it is considered a great sword, not an ultra great sword, so it's not like the slowest weapon in the game. Like, I have like one complaint about it. Like, the strong attack is really slow. Like, this is the strong attack. Like, I don't know, I think it's really slow. I kind of don't use it for anything. Like, two-handed slow attack, even slower. But yeah, the sword is really cool. We will use it later. Probably when we upgrade it to max. Okay, let's go back to our regular sword. And I'll actually use a Homeward Bone here. Oh, we actually end up here. We didn't rest at the Chamber of the Princess Bonfire, so yeah. But we'll warp to Firelink Shrine. We'll rest. And home sweet home, ladies and gentlemen. We defeated Sif, one of the saddest fights in the game. Really emotional, really great fight. Like, I recommend trying it for yourselves. It's really great. But this is gonna be it for today, guys. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.